One part of shooting that everybody always thinks is very easy, but is actually more complicated than you might think, is aiming. Can you give us some tips when it comes to aiming?
Sure. Now, we've already talked about sight alignment, so we understand what our front sight and rear sight should look like when we are aligned properly. Now let's talk about aiming. Whenever you have a target, as much as possible, you want to pick a specific point to aim at. With this target, we might choose this handy-dandy X. Once you've established an aiming point for yourself, now you're going to build your sight picture. Your sight picture comprises those nicely aligned sights just at that aiming point. You're going to position those nicely aligned sights so that your aiming point lies either just on top of or just behind that front sight blade. And again, that front sight blade should be centered in the rear sight and everything should be flush. Your sights are aligned and they are aligned at or just under your aiming point. Now you're going to start the shooting process. Remember to look at the front sight. Now your visual focus is going to return to the front sight. It's a little bit tricky because we all want to look at the target that we're shooting at. But you've got to look at the front sight for your shot to go where you want it to be. Remember, a little bit of movement here means a lot off down there at the target. So only by looking at your front sight can you give your body the information it needs to keep as still as it can.
So the one thing to remember is always, always, always keep your eye on that front sight.
Yes.